Hey, Anytime Fitness family. Got ourselves a different type of a workout here that's going to require a little bit of equipment that is perhaps a bit unusual. I have here a karate belt. Now, you don't need a karate belt, but you'll need something that is super sturdy. And is going to be able to endure a lot of stress. So whether it's a karate belt or maybe a duffel bag strap that's been lengthened all the way, perhaps a thick rope, and even possibly a water hose. But when you see the workout, you'll figure out what makes the most amount of sense. But I also want to stress this workout is very challenging, okay? Avoid the things that you're not super comfortable with, because our priority is safety. So it's safety, skills, and stability, speed, strength, stamina. You're going to want to do this slowly and with control, okay? It is not a high-paced, dynamic, let alone ballistic workout. It's slow, it's controlled, and it's going to require a lot of concentration and a lot of stability. That being said, the moves themselves should be easy enough to understand, if not a little awkward in the execution when doing it for the first time. But if you are doing it slowly, you're not jerking your arms and trying to jump and do a whole bunch of other stuff, you should be good. All right? If you have any other questions, feel free to reach out to me. As a reminder, we're here for you anytime. All right? See ya. Bye-bye. Hey, Anytime Fitness fam. Ray Reese here, personal training manager, Anytime Fitness, Chestnut Hill. Here with another basic full body workout that you can do at home or anywhere with minimal equipment. Now, let's say for the sake of argument, for whatever reason, you are trapped at home with your kids and you don't want to be inside the house anymore and you want to run away. Well, let's take that energy and then just like only use 10% of it and just get us out of the house to where we can do a full body workout. And you're not gonna wanna use a standard pants belt because that, they may prove to be not sturdy enough and break, and we don't want you to get injured. Speaking of breaking, I also recommend that you do any of these workouts outside where there are going to be things that are strong enough for this to be tethered to. So you're probably not going to want to be using your door handles or the edge of a banister or what have you, even though those are some common options. Outside, you figure, even in the off chance that you do break something, like you can, run away. Be responsible. You'll need yourself, you'll need something sturdy, and another something sturdy, okay? And you'll need the outdoors and the absence of precipitation. But you can do this in the rain if you like. All right. Oh, somebody got some toilet paper. So first thing we're gonna do our basic squat. Now I'm gonna wrap these around my hands, and I have to stress, I am gripping these, like I'm firmly gripping these. You don't wanna just wrap them around your hands and then hope that the friction of the belt being around your hands is going to hold you. If you do that, two things will happen. One, you'll eventually fall when they spontaneously unravel and let you bop on the ground. The other thing is that it'll squeeze your hands. If you're not stopping these straps in their track, they're gonna squeeze your hands and make, it'll be really uncomfortable, all right? So now, with ourselves tethered, we're going to drop down and come up. Notice my back is straight. We're gonna drop down and come up. Now, with this tether, I am not leaning back, I'm not pulling. It's actually pretty loose. All it's doing is keeping me from really falling back. I'm using it to allow myself to get as low as is comfortable for me, all right? So this will increase my range of motion without me necessarily having to stretch any particular muscle beyond its normal range of flexibility, all right? So we have ourselves some squats. Now, a modification for that, if you're like, dude, that's too easy. I want something more challenging. Well, what you can do the same thing, but raising alternating knees, and trying to raise the knee before your other leg gets fully straightened. So if I go down and then I come up, down, up, you're going to wind up having to really work one leg more than the other. Now, what we're gonna do, we're gonna work the back a little bit. So now normally, if we were on a TRX, we might do these rows here, okay? So now what we are gonna do, we're gonna keep our front leg and our torso just locked. And actually, this position we're going to keep. Our rear leg, however, that one is going to move a teeny bit, but what we're gonna do is we're leaning back and we're going to pull ourselves, all right? We're going to pull ourselves, we're gonna row ourselves. Now this might be something that you're gonna have to do more repetitions of because you're not gonna be using as much body weight as you normally would be. But whatever number that you do on one leg, you're going to want to switch to do on the other leg, all right? And it's slow. And not only is it slow, but it has to be controlled. You have to be stable. We're not trying to yank back. We're not trying to do that. We're not trying to jerk ourselves forward. It's a nice, controlled motion. And once we get more vertical, we're tucking those shoulder blades together. You wanna pretend like you've got like a walnut or something between your shoulder blades and you wanna bring it together. Now, also, you're not pushing with the foot. The rear foot is just keeping you from falling backwards. You are pulling with the arms. And that rear foot softens your descent, all right? So, we've got legs, we've got back. While we're here, we'll do another back exercise. This one will be, shall we say, a bit more challenging, and please make certain that the strap that you are using has great structural integrity. You know, you don't want any rips, you don't want any tears, any frays. It should be structurally sound. And if you are uncertain, then make certain that during each repetition, you state out loud, I absolve Anytime Fitness and Ray Reese from anything and everything. But what we're gonna do some reverse flies. And we're gonna do them very carefully. All right. We're leaning back. Our arms are straight. And we're gonna pull ourselves up. Now, you'll still see that there's tension still on ropes. We're not dropping them. So we're not pulling ourselves up to where the rope drops. We're gonna stay engaged, all right? If you don't feel comfortable doing this, like, don't do it. Just, it's slow, but you should feel the strap at all time, the strap or the belt at all time. You do not, under any circumstances, wanna fall back. Everything, there's no slack in your strap at any given point in time. And you'll even notice that my arms kind of go up a little bit and pull me in. You can do that, but you saw how the belt slipped a little bit there, right? We're just pulling out and letting ourselves go back slowly. You're gonna wanna be really, really careful with that. Now, let's say we wanna work our chest. And who doesn't wanna work their chest, right? Normally, if we're doing TRX, you know, there's gonna be, you're gonna have longer straps, all right? This is gonna be way more challenging, all right? So you wanna make certain that you have enough belt to wrap your hands around. And if not, I'll show you a different technique. But here, and then pulling, letting myself go here. Now, the actual exercise is actually here to here, stopping your wrists in line with your shoulders. We're not trying to go all the way out there. So this is super duper challenging. It's not as glamorous as any of the other moves, all right? And you don't have to bring it back in front of you this far. This is just, it's almost an endurance piece. So you only have to go a little in and back. It's almost a pulse. Now, if you have super long straps, you can go deeper, but here, this is just a little bit too uncomfortable for me. Like, I feel all closed off and I don't really want to be there. So you don't gotta do that. All right. So now, in the interest of full disclosure, these chest exercises, whether here or, you know, in there on actual TRX equipment, are always going to be challenging. And, you know, really with the bar or body weight on the ground, they're going to be challenging. So you have to go really, really slowly. There's always going to be a little bit of uncertainty or discomfort, and we really want to minimize the discomfort. So that's why we want to stress, like I did in a previous video, safety. You want to work on safety and then skill and stability. We're not trying to kill ourselves going super hard, but I want to show you another variation that would probably be easier on your shoulders. And that's another thing, we want to be mindful of our shoulders. If you have bad shoulders, we're probably not going to want to be in what's otherwise known as a crucifix pose. But if this is uncomfortable, you know, that pulsing motion, we've got another variation, all right? Here, we wrap it around. We're gonna use one arm, all right? Now, the primary muscle is going to be the pec, the pectoralis major, right? However, we're gonna be able to get some assistance from our legs a little bit. We're gonna pull ourselves in and let ourselves down. may need to bring this plant leg in front of you, all right, to keep you balanced. So this is gonna take a little bit of, well, a whole lot of coordination. But again, the arms stay straight. We don't wanna let it get twisted on back. The other thing about this, so we're focusing on keeping the arms straight and using the chest, right? Focusing on letting this plant leg come out in front of us to keep us balanced. If that's uncomfortable, you can always just push more with the leg. Again, remembering to bring this leg out in front. And then you would do the same thing on the other side. All right, so we have our legs, we have a couple of things for the back, we have our chest, all right? We're going through our legs, all right? We've done our low squats, right? We've done our upper back, all right? Our flies for our back, reverse flies, but we can also do it a little bit lower, like so. Boom. Depends on your level of comfort. Similarly, to go back to working the upper back, we can have our arms forward and keep our arms straight and pull them down. So you want to go slowly, body stays straight, pulling with the arms straight. So we're not trying to turn this into tricep extensions, because that'll happen as well. We don't want the thing flopping up and down. We want to have straight arms. All right, straight arms. Now this will work your triceps by keeping them locked, all right? Now, on the flip side, hey, I wanna work shoulders. Now, working shoulders gonna be a bit more challenging, all right? So we're gonna turn around. Now, unlike the chest fly from earlier, where we were here, so this was that chest fly. This time, we're gonna have the strap be low, and we're gonna have 1 foot forward. Arms stay straight, pull ourselves back. Arms are straight, pull ourselves back. Arms are straight, pull ourselves back. So this will work depending on the way your shoulder, depending on the way your arms do, will work your shoulder, the front of your shoulders, or the front of your shoulders and your chest. So if your arms are out, it's gonna work a little more your chest, but it's not gonna feel probably as effective. So if you keep your arms straight and down, we can work the front of our shoulders, using the legs very minimally, helping to keep us from falling forward. This is not something that you want to do without your legs being there, because otherwise, I'm not even going to attempt to show you what'll happen. It'll be bad. And you don't want to, not even gonna try. All right, but now you might say, oh, well, Ray, what about your medial deltoid? What about the middle of your shoulder? Person who uses overly specific fitness terminology. So if we wanted to just work the outside of our shoulders, because we've worked the front doing the chest stuff, as well as the last exercise that we just did, we worked the rear of our shoulders, you know, doing any of our reverse flies, right? As well as the rows. But if you're like, dude, no, I want cannonballs in my medial deltoids. So that's going to be a little challenging. That requires this motion, right? Bringing the elbows away from your spine laterally, away from your obliques, right? Now, what we would need to do for that, and by this point, you're probably just thinking I'm crazy, or you're just sick of all of this and muttering under your breath. There's not going to be, you would have to have your shoulder facing away from the, your anchor here. And much like we did with the chest fly where so review, we had this chest fly to work our chest. Similar kind of concept if we want to work all right, so you're gonna turn your shoulder. Now this is a very, very, very shallow motion, all right? So you're not going past your hips, you're not going into the door there, into the pole, you're just coming up. And you're using, if you're like, oh, this is a bit challenging on the shoulder, then use the leg more. You can even try, a static hold. As a matter of fact, that's a clear option where you lean, you take your 1 foot off the ground and you hold yourself there for, 15 seconds. Jeez. All right. And then you would turn the other way. You turn the other way, taking that foot off the ground, holding that arm straight and steady. All right, so admittedly, this is probably a bit more challenging than yesterday's and will require a bit more ingenuity, but be careful, just be safe, take your time. We're just trying to stay moving and stay active. We are not trying to get injured, so safety, skill and stability, speed, strength, stamina, all right? Ray Reese, Anytime Fitness, have a good one. See ya, bye-bye.